Shut up and sit down. I'm gonna tell you about Hornet. Now that Silksong is out, there has been one key thing that I have been enjoying that James has been skipping completely over because he is a madman.
Hi, Skim.
The dialogue. When I am playing as Hornet, I feel like friggin' majesty. I feel intelligent, self-sufficient, adaptable, all of the things that I am not in everyday life. Basically, I feel like a god. But when I'm playing as the knight, I feel mostly like myself. Perhaps a little bit quieter, reflective, still a badass, absolutely adorable. Who's a cute little empty husk filled with the very void itself? You are. The choice to give or not give the protagonist of a game a voice really changes how the player experiences the narrative, and the game devs run the risk of you not actually liking that character because that character has opinions and viewpoints that might be different from the way that you see the world.
Let's kill her. Kill me? Why do you want to kill me?
Oh, no. We don't want to kill you. We just kind of have to.
A Chaos Emerald? You've got to be kidding me, guys. This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
But honestly, I feel that risk is oftentimes worth it when, the dialogue is written right. And with Hornet, I feel oftentimes it is. It makes me laugh. It makes me feel things. With Hornet at the wheel, her objectives become my objectives. Her enemies, my enemies. Her friends, my friends. Everything that I do in the game is colored through the lens of Hornet. What would Hornet do? And in turn, I'm her biggest hype man. Heck yeah!
Okay.
Ah! Hornet and other speaking protagonists have the ability to guide you through the story in ways that silent protagonists wouldn't be able to. Like, there are often times with a silent protagonist, you might be stumbling through the story, but there are moments where we've been playing with Hornet and it's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm glad that I have someone capable at the wheel and leading me into the great beyond. But the thing is, they're not just answering your questions. They're creating new ones when the dialogue is done right. They're making you more curious about the character and the world around them with the dialogue that they give you. And the knight, well, you're just a wandering little psychopath killer who doesn't engage with the world around him at all and just goes around murdering people. With some exceptions. Don't go writing angry comments in the comment section now. Wait till you finish the video first. Maybe say something nice. Say how much you like James's eyelids. They're abundant and beautiful. We're using this one. I'm gonna edit this video and I'm using this one. Say how James's curls make him look like a newborn cherub. His rosy cheeks warm as the winter sun. Now let me be clear. Let me be transparent. Let me be real with you. All right, I'm gonna start from the top. I'm gonna be normal. Now let me be clear. I can't say now let me be clear in a normal way. Now let me be clear. I'm not saying that a protagonist without a voice makes for a worse game or is a bad narrative solution. But the degree to which devs give the player agency over the story versus involvement in the story may change how you connect with the characters. As a game dev myself, it's important for me to understand how players might connect with characters with or without voices, especially because I am developing a game with a character with a non-traditional sort of voice. It's a bee, a honeybee. Bees don't talk. I've tried. They don't like that. Hello, little bee. Would you like for me to read you a bedtime story? Okay, never mind. We're in early stages right now, but we're currently brainstorming the ways in which the player might be involved in how the bees communicate. We've noticed with games like Hollow Knight, when the protagonist is silent, you tend to engage more with your environment and your surroundings and other NPCs rather than your actual character. So today we're going to be looking at a few different silent protagonist video games. From the beginning, as the knight, my focus was outward. I don't know how I got here. I don't know why I've chosen to venture outward, but hey, there are all these signs around me that tell me who I am or who I might be. Apparently, I'm a special boy. How do I feel about that? Which, given the lore, I'm probably not supposed to be doing that, feeling things. Other characters tell me how I'm supposed to feel about the world, and only I, as the player, have any agency in moving forward. And in small ways, you get to choose your characterization of the night. It varies depending on player. In your version of the game, does the night kill neutral enemies? Do you let spirits go free? Do you kill spirits? Do you kill spirits, but the reason that you do it is because you think that you're releasing them from this plane of existence to go somewhere else that might be better somehow, maybe? Do you do a little happy dance when you defeat a boss? The night has no facial expressions, no reactions to his environment. His body is just as silent as his voice. I feel like I'm roasting him. Ooh, he ain't got no facial expressions. He ain't got no mouth. Ooh, boom, roasted. He does walk in certain places instead of running. Some people interpret that as reverence. Whether the devs intended that to be the case or not, who can say? But the story is pretty much set minus some key choices. One of my favorite ways that the devs give you the option to characterize the knight is the nailsmith storyline. Brief spoilers for those of you who haven't finished the game yet. You can choose to end him with the very nail that he has just finished crafting, because I guess that's what he wants. Or you can spare him, and if you choose to spare him, he ends up going and finding the love of his life in the woods. They craft together. They're either besties or lovers. I don't know. I'd like to think that they're lovers. I love a good friends to lovers storyline. But it's really sweet and it's really heartwarming. And he's really grateful that he's still alive. You get to see this person if you let him live. And it's it's not even a clear choice. You don't even realize that it's a choice. You just walk away. It's not like a yes or no button. You kind of think that you're pigeonholed into this one moment of stabbing this guy with this nail, and you're like, this game, and you might even stab him and walk away with it. But it's in a moment of really beautiful growth. He's like, yeah, thank you. I'm rambling. I should look at the script. It's a really lovely ending for a character in a game that can be perceived as pretty dark. And he's grateful that he's alive in this beautiful show of growth. You get to see a really, really heartwarming, lovely storyline in the midst of a game that a lot of people perceive as really dark. But these choices don't affect the knight. They affect you as the player. You get to choose what endings make you feel good as a person. You have very little agency over the story, but as the player, you are heavily involved in the story. And honestly, can you imagine how the story would change if the knight did have a voice? Can you imagine how cheesy that would sound? What would that dialogue feel like? Everything that I come up with in my head just feels so goofy. Hi, I'm the knight. I'm the darkness. I'm Daddy's special little boy. Hi, I'm here to fight some bugs. I'm here to fight some bugs. And the thing about strong, silent characters is that everything that you believe about them comes from assumption. They could be dripping with insanity, daydreaming about gnawing on your nostrils. But because they don't say anything, you're like, that's a pretty cool guy. He's probably just like me. But then you look at characters like Link from the Zelda series, and I'm specifically talking about Breath of the Wild right now, and you are completely sideswiped by some of their dialogue options.
Sava Sava.
Under what circumstances would he ever say that? Because Link is a pretty silent character, almost as silent as the knight. Pretty devoid of any strong personality traits. But you have a little more agency with how he interacts with the world. He has facial expressions, very expressive body language, and even a voice, kind of. Link is less psychopathic. He has more goals than just to wander around and murder things, which, I don't know, I guess Link still does kind of go and murder things, but he murders them heroically. Traditionally, he has been kind of a blank slate, like the knight, but the devs have given you an opportunity in recent years to paint some semblance of a personality over top of him, although sometimes it feels like you're painting over a finished canvas. And again, some people, like James, do not engage with the in-game lore or like dialogue options, but I do. And in page 5 of Zelda's diary in the castle, she gave me a characterization of Link that just kind of broke my brain. It didn't make sense to me or the Link that I had been parading around the world as. Prior, I had no clue what his motivations were, and the dialogue options kind of make him just seem like a wild card. But this is what Zelda says in her diary.
Bit by bit, I've gotten Link to open up to me. It turns out he's quite a glutton. He can't resist a delicious meal. When I finally got around to asking why he's so quiet all of the time, I could tell it was difficult for him to say. But he did. With so much at stake and so many eyes upon him, he feels it necessary to stay strong and silently bear any burden, a feeling I know all too well. For him, it has caused him to stop outwardly expressing his thoughts and feelings.
Now you could easily chalk this up to Zelda being a little delulu.
Is it possible that he's so in love even touching my illusion would be too much?
Even though she's a figment of
It's
my
very flattering
imagination,
to know
if
that I
touch
mean so much
Teruhashi,
to
I'll have
this
a
poor,
panic attack.
pathetic boy.
But the story in multiple instances recognizes Link as a quiet person, the strong, silent type, despite giving him some of the most flamboyant dialogue options that do not fit with that characterization at all. But the options that you get in Breath of the Wild don't really matter. The story is set. Link's personality is set. When you, as the player, are being mischievous, is that you being mischievous? Or is that Link being mischievous? Would Link roll a bomb down a hill and watch a bunch of bokoblins that were just having their Sunday feast together in a show of love and camaraderie and friendship and watch them all explode? Is that something Link would do? Or is that me as the player? Is Link a psychopath or am I? Because most people don't engage with Link's character too much when they play. Link is the straightforward good boy hero that we all wanted him to be, despite what shenanigans we as the players get up to. The monsters in the game are immortal and pure evil, which makes the murder that you end up getting up to, no matter how you decide to murder, righteous and good. Even when you are shooting an arrow into the eye of an ancient, beautiful dragon, you are rewarded for this. This detachment from this character's personality is why I'm like, thinking about the question, can Link be a girl? The answer for me is yes. Nintendo's pre-planned ideas of Link and who he is and what he should be kind of box you in a little bit. I've been going back and forth over this with James. The reason they will not allow you to have the option to be a girl in the Zelda games is because of all of the women across Hyrule that are thirsting over Link's little ass. If it weren't for the confines of heteronormativity, I could be a girl in Zelda and have a bunch of Hyrule women thirsting over me too.
Getting fussed over by a bunch of girls might not be that bad.
And some games with silent protagonists let you do just that. So you might be thinking, whoa there, lady! Baldur's Gate's protagonist is not silent. Let me reason with you for a moment. Your character, Tav, as many people call it, is not necessarily silent to the world, but they're silent to you, the player. They don't have thoughts or emotions unless you assign them. They're not going to give you any extra details to the story. They're not going to be your bestie. Probably going to be you or some version of you or some version of a person that you think is pretty cool. There are a lot of narrative-based roleplay style games that give you this freedom to explore different personalities and be whomever you'd like. Here, you have control over your appearance, your personality, your dialogue, how the world perceives you, and ultimately, how the story ends. Whoa, that's 5 whole things! And with your dialogue, you normally have 3 options. totally normal, sane person option, crazy, deranged, chaotic, evil sort of person option, and like a goofy, silly, fun, quirky person sort of option. And what's pretty fun in Baldur's Gate is that sometimes you have options that are specific to the class that you've chosen, and it feels almost blasphemous to not choose those things when they pop up because they're so special. Well, similar to games like Hollow Knight, your focus is outwards, like on the environment, the people around you. And that's even more present because your companions have even more depth to them than traditional NPCs. These are the games that you have to play several times to get every little bit of story out. And gosh darn it, you're going to finish that evil playthrough storyline, even if it makes Karlach hate you. Depending on your personality, this sort of gameplay naturally guides you to try and affect the world around you. You're trying to see things change. The world isn't all set. But honestly, it's still kind of set. I'm gonna take a wild detour here now that James is out of the room. Why aren't evil storylines ever as fulfilling as the good ones? When you're good, everyone likes you. You even sometimes get the opportunity to turn the evil NPCs good. Great. So happy about that. I'm trying to play a story-driven game where I get rewarded for wreaking havoc and destruction. Pair me up with some fun, lovable psychopaths. Have the NPCs applaud me for my ethical cannibalism plans. James, you can come back now.
No.
But the gameplay that these games encourage is world building, exploration, and creating within a pre-developed story. Then there are sandbox type games like Minecraft, where yes, your characters are silent, but that's the point.
There is no dialogue. There is no plot. But the canvas, completely blank.
The game comes mostly from your own imagination. In Minecraft, you aren't Steve, but Steve is you. You assign this block characters' emotions, their actions. There are entire roleplay servers dedicated to storytelling in the Minecraft world. Steve could literally be anyone, and I think that that's why no one questioned Jack Black's casting in the new Minecraft movie. Because he's got the turquoise shirt on. Yeah, Steve, I don't know. With Steve's face being as expressionless as the knight, you are somehow still given more emotions than the knight has because it's clear that the emotions are yours and not the character's. The character is just an empty vessel for you to use. Steve isn't a character. Steve doesn't have any emotions. I don't think in all of the time I've ever played Minecraft, whether I selected one of the default characters or I created my own custom skin, I don't think I've ever wondered, what's this little guy feeling? You make your own objectives in these games. When Minecraft first came out, I played all of the time with my younger brothers, and the three of us all had different objectives in the game. My youngest brother really liked experimentation. He really liked building simple and elaborate redstone contraptions, and he was also really excited to explore and find new tiny details about the game. It took us so long to find the Nether and to realize that the game actually had an ending. My other brother preferred fighting enemies and finding good loot in the mine. Otherwise, the game was honestly pretty boring to him. And I myself, I liked mining and I liked finding things. I think we all really liked finding diamonds, but I wanted to build elaborate houses. Even when I found out about the Nether, I was like, yeah, this is good, but houses? I know I talked a lot of junk at the beginning, but I think that we can all agree that there are so many ways that we can connect and enjoy silent protagonists. You can assign personalities to them based on their silence, or merge their identity with your own. In comparison to games like Silksong, where the characters' views are already set, silent protagonists require there to be a little bit more creativity in how you go about connecting with them. You might not remember the character as much as you remember the environment, the NPCs, and all the different paths you can take. On the other hand, speaking characters like Hornet don't have dialogue options. They're gonna say what they're gonna say regardless. Does the lack of choice feel empty? Do you prefer or find it more interesting that Hornet has such a clear personality? Or do you like having the space to have Link express himself in a way that you find more interesting or fun? Do you keep a headcanon, or is it something you just forget about? Let us know in the comments. If you're interested in a cozy game about bees, probably also with silent protagonists, you should follow us for more content regarding Hive and Hollow. We're gonna start giving some progress updates on our channel soon, and maybe some other game design videos just like the one that you just watched. We're really excited about where the game is going, and we're sure you will be too. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.